Alright guys, Chevy's getting towed again. You won't believe what broke on it this time. This thing's got 23,500 miles. You would expect something like this to break maybe at 100,000 miles, but 23,500, we've got a problem. Alright everybody, welcome back to the channel. Today is not the best video because I have a problem. I got a problem with my Chevy again, and I'm going to explain to you the last 24 hours so everyone understands. Drop a comment, please subscribe if you're not already, like this video for the algorithm. And the comments you drop, I want to know if you've had this issue. So yesterday I was driving home and I got two engine codes that came on, reduced acceleration, all that stuff, right? It was trouble codes P0717, turbine input shaft, P0700, transmission control system, two of those, and two of the turbine input shafts, whatever that might be, okay? Reduced acceleration, get home, turn the truck off, good. Later on, we went to go get ice cream, check engine light comes off. Bear in mind, this is the fourth time that this light has come on and come back off. I will caveat with, I've called the dealership on this. They said, hey, if it went back off, it probably fixed itself. It's hard to chase a code when you don't obviously have it on your dash. Got it, okay, roger that. I wake up this morning at 4 a.m. I gotta get to work early. I get to work, forgot my duty phone. All right, so I go all the way back home, park in the driveway, I leave the truck on, I walk inside my house, grab it, I come back out, put the truck in reverse, bam! I mean loud, like someone was taking a sledgehammer to the drivetrain. And I'm like, no way. And then all of a sudden I'm like, that doesn't sound right? So I'm like, huh. I drop it into drive and to move forward a little bit, just because I didn't want to leave yet. I'm like, ooh, that didn't sound good. And then again, bam! I'm like, whoa, that does not sound good. I try to move the truck forward a little bit, and then all I get is rah, right? Just revs, like almost as if your drive shaft just fell off and it's just spinning in neutral, right? And as if your engine's there's no power to the drivetrain, okay? So what do? Okay, I put it back in reverse. I'm like, okay, we're gonna figure this out. What the heck's going on here? So put it back in reverse, bam! Again, I'm like, okay, this time reverse light starts blinking, and I'm like, no way. Like, I mean, this thing shuddered. It like you were throwing a freaking stick in a bicycle spoke, right? That's how hard this thing was. Like, I mean, it just like jammed it. So I'm like, well, shoot, I'm parked behind my wife. Thank goodness I made it back home. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna try to move the truck up. So I kind of fiddled with the reverse and drive a second. I got it to move forward, but man, it was like, so I got it to engage the powertrain, and it went forward a couple inches, and then just rah! It almost like it was like geared, and then the gears slipped out, like it just went into neutral. So anywho, long story short, the transmission crapped out. 23,500 miles. I don't know, it's at the dealer, so I could be speculating about the transmission dropping out, but I'm telling you, like, I have driven vehicles where the transmissions had a critical failure before, and that is what this sounds like. It felt like, like how everyone complains about the first to second gear shift, amplify that times 100. And that's how it shook the whole truck and me in the seat, like slammed me in the seat. And I'm like, what the heck? Like, it felt like there had to have been damage, even though it was at idle and I just popped it in reverse, just like I'm just leaving like normal. I'm just going back to work, right? And yesterday I went to O'Reilly's and I got those codes scanned because I was afraid that it was going to go off, and it did go off. Until this morning, until I got back home, and all of that occurred. So I don't know if any of you out there have had this same experience about this transmission light coming on. That's the check engine codes that it threw. The turbine input shaft speed sensor, control system, mill request, shaft speed sensor, input sensor. So I'm not sure what the heck it was. So anyways, Chevy roadside assistance, I got it to the dealer. It's at the dealer. I don't know when they can get it in, maybe Friday, maybe Monday. Talk to my service advisor. She's awesome. I've dealt with her before. So my frustration is not pointed at the dealership or anything like that, but just Chevy in general. You know, so when that check engine light came back on again, that was the 5th time. So I've had it 3 times prior. The 4th was yesterday, and the 5th was this morning. And finally, after it said reduced acceleration, that's when everything crapped out. It bricked the whole truck. It wouldn't even move. My tow truck got here, he couldn't move it. It was completely bricked, wouldn't go. Even if you put it into drive, it just revved and goes nowhere, right? So very crazy. I'm very disappointed. I'm contemplating my life choices right now on if choosing Chevy was the right thing to do. And I know things happen like this, but I can't quite understand at 23,500 miles why not only me, I know there's other people having these types of problems with this Chevy. I don't understand why we can't figure this 8-speed transmission out. Why is there a hard shift? Why does the 2nd gen have a hard shift? Like, what is going on here? Maybe we need to talk to a GM technician. Maybe they need to actually test these vehicles in real life conditions and scenarios. I every day drive this truck, just normal. You know, there's not much done to it. There is more done to an AEV Bison than I have done anything to this truck. And I just drive it back and forth to work. Like, it's like 15 miles a day or something like that. Like, it's not like that big of a deal. And I just find it fascinating that at 23,500 miles, I'm stranded. Thank goodness I had a secondary vehicle. I had to park my vehicle, grab the Jeep. I grabbed the Jeep Rubicon and I was like, hey babe, I need you to get this on the tow truck. I gotta go to work. Like, so I'm nervous because of the reliability. Like, we go camping a lot, we go and travel a lot. Like, I don't know if I can afford to have this thing strand me on the side of a loan, let alone in a mountain trip. You know what I'm saying? So I guess that's my overall frustration. But at the end of the day, it is under warranty. Chevy does need to fix this. And I hope this kind of raises the question or even awareness that if you're having transmission issues, we need to let Chevy know. Like, Chevy has to know that there's a problem. They are required to fix it. We did not pay $40,000 or more, right, for some of these other vehicles for a vehicle just for the transmission, whether it's a sensor, turbine, whatever input shaft thing this is talking about. You know, I get that there's electronics. I get that there's failures. I understand that. Like, logically, I get that. I'm trying to understand where in the world at 23,000 miles should my truck be bricked, you know, with basic daily driving, right? And, you know, I would argue that it's premature failure. And then let me get you, so I call my service advisor and she's like, hey Travis, I just drove your truck into the bay, it's fine. So that leads me to believe that it's a technical error, right? It's electronic error, because I wonder if every time you shut that truck off, you turn it back on, it resets those sensors, and maybe it's a sensor problem. So, but I guess my question is for you Chevy techs out there, is if it's a sensor problem, you know, why did it sound like my transmission was falling out of the truck? Would it cause that? You know, does that equal the causation from that? Like, I'm trying to understand, like, if it's just a sensor, I guess it could, right? Is the sensor the one that meshes the gears, makes it drive, reverse, park, drive, neutral, whatever? I don't really know. I've got to do some more research into it and let them tell me what was wrong. But at the end of the day, I couldn't drive my truck. I had to get it towed. It would not drive at all for me, wouldn't drive for the guy picking it up on the tow truck. And that's what's happening now. I will update you all once I once the dealer calls me and does their assessment and we get through all of this shebang. But basically, I am now left with a 2023 brand new-ish truck with only 23,000 miles that I cannot drive once again. I cannot drive it. And I have to revert back to one of my spare vehicles. Good thing I have a spare vehicle. Some of you do, some of you don't, and this is why. So everyone, that's all I got for you today. Just a quick update. A little frustrated, as anyone would be. So, but I just want to let you guys know. Appreciate you watching the channel. I hope this isn't happening to you. If you have any indication of what it could be or anything like that, drop it in the comments. I'd really like to know. Get this on the forums. Get this out. Chevy needs to, we need to shake some trees, man. Chevy needs to ante up and fix this stuff, because there's no reason, again, like I said, there's no reason a brand new truck should be having these issues. So help me get the message out, y'all, and I appreciate y'all's support, and let's just see where this goes. I know Chevy's gonna fix this. It just sucks because now I took a major hit to the reliability. It was always so reliable, and now those lights have come on the trail on me, and I'm just so thankful that I didn't get stranded while I was out camping with my family, and these lights came on. I'm thankful that they came on in my driveway and it bricked itself in my driveway versus on the highway, at a trail, camping, campsite, whatever. So God bless everyone. Thanks for watching.